Hello everyone, welcome to my tutorial on the wedding double page that I've been promising everybody and haven't got round to doing it. So we're using the Romantic collection journal for this double layout, interactive layout. Now I've already videoed the second page, so I'm doing the first page now. Just go back and recap on what we are doing. So this is the first page. It flips open to this side. All right, and I'll just make sure that you can see this and moving it up, I'm just watching my screen as I go so I can see. All right, so flipping this over, and you have got a little belly band there with where you can tuck some photos in. You've got a little waterfall feature here. Okay, photo spot there. That goes back over like that. And then on this side, you have got another flip out with a pocket. Okay, a couple of photo mats here, and also where you can slide in a photo there. And back it comes. All right, so this is the first page that we are going to be doing. And as I said, we are using the journal. I'll just put this under here. We are using the Romantic Collection Stamperia journal. And on the back of this, you will need to cut these out. Now, I've already pre-cut mine into strips, so you might want to do that. I do mention this in the other video, and hopefully one of them will get cut out. But if I repeat, I am really sorry. My first time of organising a video doing this. All right, we'll be using this page. All right, so this is another page that you'll be using. And we will be using this page out of your pack. And we will be using this page, Treasure, out of your pack. Just move that up a little bit. Now this, a little bit of fussy cutting, so I've already cut mine into pieces and put them in a bag, so I've got them for when we go to embellish our album. Also, I've pre-cut these all out, so I just followed the lines and pre-cut those out. I've already used some because I've already done the second page, and I fussy cut these out. And again, stuck them in a plastic bag, so I had them all ready to go when we go to embellish our pages. So, and then we will be using this one. Now, in the other, I just want to quickly mention this in case I miss it when you come to doing the second page. The second page, you need the top of this. All right, so you will be using the top piece. Now, just to show you that piece, and if you can make yourselves a note, it is in here. It's the pocket that goes on the flip on your second page, and it is this piece here. So I will have slightly done mine a little bit different. I just want to make sure that you do that. All right. So just a note to make to yourself that you're using that in the second page, but you need this bit down here in this page here, and you'll see where. So then I've gone ahead and done a little bit of prep work. So first off, I used the one that has Treasure written on it across the bottom. As you can see, I've trimmed off a 1/4 inch off the top, and I've trimmed off a 1/4 inch off the right hand side. And in my original, I used Distress Ink Vintage Photo, but I'm using the Black Soot Distress Ink in this one. So once you've done that, you can attach that to your piece of cardstock that's in your pack, and then you've got your foundation page. Very, very simple to do. Now, I did go through and tell people to cut your cardstock when I did the first video, which was the second page. But I'm going to tell you not to cut your cardstock up at the moment, only because you will have different photos and different size photos. So where you don't need to cut any cardstock, I would wait till later and see how we go. That way you can match your photos up with your paper. Getting this first page out, you're going to measure. Okay, you're going to measure. I actually cut mine down in the center. That would make sense, wouldn't it? I didn't want to use there, so mine went about there, and I'll measure that down for you. So this piece, and I have got notes written that I'll give you the pieces, but it's really important that you cut on the right side of your paper. So on this print, all right, you're going to be cutting a piece, cutting from the right side. It's going to be 10.5 by 10.5 square, and you want to come down off your page only probably half an inch down. I've just got the leaf in, so it's a ½ inch down from the top. Okay, and then so measure that. So you're measuring that there. So you're cutting 10.5 square, but you're on the right side. Okay, so then you'll end up with a piece like this, and that is going to be attached to there. And we will do that now and we'll attach that. So once you've got that attached, you cut this piece down. Again, it's 10.5 by 10.5, and then you're going to use your scorer. Okay, and we're going to score. I'm just double checking my measurements, and it's an inch in from the left hand side, so opposite the flower. Now I'm just can see mine is not quite straight, and I'm just going to trim that up. There you go. Making sure I get that line straight. So I'm just measuring it up. It's only a fraction out, but a fraction out makes all the difference. So now I'm happy. So I'm going to score that down on this left hand side. Your scoring tool, just get a nice crisp edge. And it is going to be attached to that side there. Sorry, I've got that off camera. Now I'm going to make sure that I've got this nice and straight. I'm just thinking, how far did I come down from the top? So it's a ½ inch from the top that I came down. So I'm just eyeballing that, making sure for it to fall nice and even. And the one thing I didn't just do then, which I will do now, is I'm just going to ink this up. So Alright, so while I'm thinking about inking, I'm just going to run through and ink these other edges before I forget, because I know that's what will happen. I'll get busy thinking about what I've got to tell you guys, and I'll forget to ink. And I'm just using, you can use your blending tool, whatever it is that you use to ink with. I use a bit of everything these days. I don't sort of have one. I will tell you where all these pieces come, but I'm just grabbing ink while I'm inking, just quickly inking up. So looking forward to putting this video together into one piece and learning the process, as it will make my job so much easier down the track. So hopefully you will persevere and my videos will get better as we go. So now we have this piece in here. Okay, so just so that you can see, because it is a little bit awkward, this is the first piece that we have here. We are now going to put this flip in here. Okay, so we'll put that one in next, so that we've got that one in, which is this piece here. Put that ink away. Alright, so this piece here is, you want it to go along here. Most important thing is to making sure it doesn't come over the join. We're going to score it down here. So this piece now, just so you remember where it came from. So this is the piece that I told you about, that you need the top. Alright, so this piece I cut from the bottom right hand corner. Alright, so this piece you need to cut from the bottom right hand corner, and then you'll know that you've got the right piece out. Okay, so stamp period don't name all their papers in their pads, so it's yeah, really you can make sure. So you're cutting there, and this piece measures 8 by 8. So we'll score that, and again we're going to score on the left hand side 1 inch down. Okay, so that will be your writing up the right way. To attach that there. Now I'm just making sure that you want to make sure whenever you're doing flips that you make sure that you've got them short enough that they're not going to get caught when you're doing this. Now just double check how far down I came, because I don't remember and I haven't got those notes. So I probably was down, because when I do this to start with, I'm just eyeballing it when I do it from the start. I'm just designing as I go, and I cut, stick, and then I think, oh, 1 3/4. So it's 1 3/4 inches down from the top it's going to go. So I'll just quickly mark that just slightly. Normally I would just just going to give myself a mark so I can see. And again, I'm going to put double-sided tape on the back of this. Just a reminder to make sure that you go back and burnish all your pieces. I will do that shortly once I get all these main pieces down. Having some of your pieces pre-cut does make life a lot easier. Now I'm just going to stick this corner and I hold this up just so making double sure that I've got that nice and straight before I put it all down, because that's what you see. And then you can go ahead and press down. Okay, and then you've got your flip out. Now, do go over and just burnish that down. Same here on this one, just making sure that you've got that nice. Okay, so that's that part done. Now the next part is, I have to again take a little look at my page, and we're going to go across and we will do the flip out on this side here. So we're going to do this flip out, and this has this piece. So this flip out, so now this piece here is from your other page. Okay, so it is from your other page. Now I think that's probably why I did the second page first, but I'll show you what piece it is. And these leftover pieces, so you can actually see what piece it is. I need to find it myself. And that way you can actually keep an eye out and see what it is that you need. It's the one with the brick on it, so easy to, so it's the one with the brick, and you use it in your other, and it is your top corner, so you can cut a strip out. So that strip, so just out of this piece here, and you need to cut a strip. Mine's slightly smaller than my original, but if I give you the measurements, it's a 3-inch. So mine's measuring 3. So that might be 3 1/8. And then it measures down 9, and mine measures just on 9. So there you go. Okay, so this piece is going to go here, and we're going to score this, and this piece will get tucked under. So we're going to score that now, 1 inch. I don't think that is 1 inch actually. I think that's 3/4 of an inch. Let me see. Yes, it is 3/4 of an inch. So we'll do that now so I don't forget, and grab this piece out of here. All right, so we're doing this piece together. So this time we're scoring on the right hand side, and we're going to score 3/4 of an inch. And this actually gets tucked in under here. So, and then it will go on your page here. So again, just looking at our page here on this side, it's going to come in 1/2 inch. So we'll stick it under first, and it's 1 inch down. So I'll do that first. So we're going to double-sided tape here. Now, did I show you? I did show you that, because that's where I wanted to make sure I showed you where that piece came from. So there you go. I'm making sure. So that's going to get tucked in under here, and it's about 1 inch. So you're probably centering it, really. So I will take that off, because I'm pretty happy with where that is. I'm just going to pop that down there like that. And then that whole piece is going to get, now that whole piece, you need it to come across. You don't want it to come, it's probably got mine up about that far, I'd say. And we are going to just, run some double-sided tape along the hinged side. And up the top, I'm going to put some there. I'm actually going to peel that back a bit. And do the same here. I'm also going to put a touch of glue because I want this piece to stay, so that's why I've come down a little bit from the top. I'm actually going to put a bit of glue in here as well. And take that double-sided tape off. But I'm also going to use some glue. Now I'm using art glitter glue. I'm actually trying out a couple of different bottles here. This one is a Couture Creations. I actually buy my glue bulk. So I'm just going to test this. I'm testing these out because I get sick of pins and I keep losing pins. So I'm just, I don't know if that little thing's going to annoy me either, but at least I don't know where, I don't have to worry about where the pin is. So I'm just putting a bit of glue here. If you're an art glitter glue fan, now I'm just going to take that up. It's about a 1/2 inch from the edge, and I'm coming up from the treasure about a 1/2 inch, 3/4 of an inch, and I'm happy with that. So I've put that down. So doing that now, and that'll dry, but that'll give us a little pocket in here. So just so you can see that, let's get a little, you'll be able to tuck some things in there. So we've made that little side pocket nice, neat, and nice and flat and all secure. Okay, so there are our flips for this side. Now we're going to go back over here, and we are going to put in, well, we might do that pocket while we're on this side, actually, which is what this is. So I'll just bring this over. So we're going to do our pocket on this side, and that's what this piece is. My pocket is, I'll give you the measurements of the pocket, just, and it's a little bit different piece. It's a little bit different, yeah. That's it there. Wonders will never cease. And I'm just measuring this up because I'm going to score the ends so that, and it's not quite 1/2 inch, so I'm just going to do this one. I'll do this one, and I don't mind if it comes in a little bit. I might just make this one, because it depends on your yes, I'm going to bring my pocket. I've decided not to take my pocket right to the edge on this one. You can if you cut your piece long enough. I didn't quite cut mine. I'll just bring it in a little bit. So I've just gone just a little bit, probably not quite just over 1/4 of an inch on there, and I'm going to see, yeah, that's good. And I don't want it to be, now you don't want it to be too much on this side because you don't want it to grab, so you don't want it to be, you want it to be back from the crease. So just remember when you're doing that, that you come back from the crease, and yeah. Just making sure. Now I'm going to put a thin layer of tape here as well, so that nothing falls through the bottom of the pocket. Take that off. And then I'm going to put, and I'll just fold that back, and I'm actually going to use glue, I think, for this. I want it to be, so I'm just gluing this, making sure I come up. Sorry, I'm just double checking that I am in. So I'm just using some glue along these edges. Just as well I didn't glue that. Just as well. Because now normally I was meant to show you this. If I make a mistake, which I did, and put the double-sided tape at the wrong end, this is my trick. I'm using talc, and I'm going to take the stick, off, so that won't stick, and then, that was so lucky. So lucky that I looked. Anyway, there you go. If you didn't know, you can use talc to, if you do make a mistake like that, no big panic. You just get out your little bit of talc powder, baby powder, whatever it is, and now I can stick that down. And see, all good there. I've got my glue here. Make sure that that's, so that was quite lucky. Okay, oh, so yeah, talc does come in handy. Okay, so now we are cooking with gas. I just want to make sure I've got that stuck down. Beautiful. All right, so now I'm going to go back over here, and we are going to do these couple of pieces here. All right, so I'm just going to make my belly band here. Using my trusty old Creative Memories cutter. God, my eyesight is so bad. Yeah. That I've had for, I don't know, God, I've probably had it for nearly 20 years, I reckon. It was one of the very first things I ever brought when I started to actually scrapbook, and yeah, I've thrashed it. Might be my second one, actually. It might not be my original. Maybe it's 15 years old. So I did get another one. So I'll put this on this piece here. Now, did I measure that straight? I think I did. Right, take a smidgen off. So I've got a cream edge. Just don't mind me being a bit... Alright, so I'm going to put this on here. Put this to one side so you can actually actually see what I'm doing. Oops, and I didn't, which I need to go and do. I'll quickly do that on this piece, is ink it. I think I might have enough. I have got enough ink on here to... That's why I think I like to go and ink all my pieces beforehand, because it is easy to forget once you get going and you think, oh. I'll just double check that measurement to make sure before I need to come off a really smidgen on each end before I perfect. But this trimmer won't trim down the end, so I'll just grab the other trimmer, get rid of some rubbish. I have to work in a tiny space when I'm working on the camera, and it's, yeah, you get caught up with all you've got bits and pieces everywhere. Now I'm just going to glue, I'm just going to glue it down the center, so then it's on the inside though, glue down the center. So I'm just going to put some glue because I want it to be nice, and this glue will stick like cement, so I know I don't have to put a lot on for it to go. And then making sure my writing's up the right way, I'm just going to, sorry about this, goodness. Using glue too, you have a bit of wriggle room. So there's my belly band. Oops, glue, powder, everything going everywhere. Alright, so just going to let that dry. It will be dry within seconds. Okay, so that was that bit done. While I'm just waiting for that, I'll have another little sneak look at what I can do before we... And as I said, we're going to do, the next thing we're going to do is the waterfall here. So the waterfall consists of this piece here. So it is this piece here. So and you don't have to, you can put whatever. Actually, I'm using slightly different to the ones that that I used in my original, mainly because I'd forgot to check it out, but and I've left this one to show you how I did it. But yeah, so you're using this page that you've cut up, already would have cut up into pieces. So what you needed to have was, I wrote myself a note here. So you needed to cut this piece 4 by 4 5/8. All right, and then so that's 4 and 4 5/8, and then which the 5/8 is nearly a ½ inch, and you've got that becomes your it becomes part of your waterfall. So it's the hinge, and just showing you. Your first one will stick out, cut out like that, but these ones here, it will, these will bend. So when you put it down, you'll have your photo mat there, and they will bend up. Okay, but we'll show you how to do that step by step, just wanting you to see where it goes. So we'll put this one together so you know how I made the 3. So once I cut them 4 by 4 and 3/8, I scored the 3/8, and then I attached my inked and attach your pieces onto your cardstock. And remembering that your hinge is on the left hand side, okay, of your pieces. Good. Put that one underneath. All right, so there I have it, my 3 pieces. Okay, so now I need to put this in here, and the waterfall goes down here. Now I do have, all right, so I had a photo mat up here, so I just want to put that photo mat up there so I can see how much room I do have down here. And I'm going to put my first one here. That's why you want to sort of have all this nice and straight. I think I'll put that one there, and this one in here. And then that one in there. So I'm going to put some double-sided tape down, and I think I'll use a narrow one for this. Just double-sided tape off. I mean, some of you, I'm sure, will have done this before, and you'll be able to go ahead. No, I'm just popping that down there. Trying to make sure I put that straight. All right, so that's the first part of my sideways waterfall, and the next one I'm going to put under here. So if I do that, you'll get that nice little, so that is the idea of that, and then it'll come down, and then that one will come down there like that, is the idea of having them all in. So I'll do the same again. I mean, you could use glue if you wanted to. And this piece goes in here. Tucking it there. And then so there you go. So we've got our waterfall. We've got our banner piece under here where we will be able to put some photos. And we have done the flip side here. We've got our pocket here, and we've got our piece in here. Let me see that we've got all those pieces on, and then we can start to do some decorating. Oh, just in time. I think I've got visitors, so I will finish this now and come back to you guys. So just recapping, we are going to do the front page, going to do the first page that we did. So this is what we're up to. So we'll be putting in these embellishments. There's not much really to do in here. Putting on our belly band. Can you see that? I'll better put that over. So we'll do our belly band. Just putting in some of our words and things on here. I'll be taking you through and showing you how I got all this together. All right, and then we'll go on to the next page. So let's get started. So I'll put that to one side, and you'll need your pieces. So we'll start with this page first, and we're going to put our photo mat in. So we'll do that first, I think, and get that out the way. And I've got these I'm going to use. So I'm going to double mat this. And so you need to go through your pieces and see what it is that you have I just don't know if I've got a smaller piece cut, so I'm just going to mat this one up and put on my pieces here, and ink this first. So yeah, so I have to try and remember to ink everything as we go. I'll go through just inking up. So you'll get bits and pieces left out over your kit, and if you're careful how you cut it, cut your pieces out at the start, will give you more. It'll give you more photo mats to use in yours, but also to you could use lots of neutral colors, just plain colored cardstock to double block. You know, a craft would be nice, depending on what color. You could use your, double block that one. You could use a pale pink, a pale mauve. You could pick up colors that are in here to block yours. You won't always need to use your printed paper because you won't have a lot of it left over. I'm just using up the scraps that I had. Now I am going to use double-sided tape in here. Now sometimes I don't always do the top because I might want to poke something down, so I sort of use that as a pocket when I'm doing these types of things. Just create another little space to add things. It might be that you've got a something from the wedding table, you know, your placemat, anything like that, you know, name tag, you might have any of that. So now making sure, gee, just as well I looked, making sure that you miss this crease, because if you put it over the crease it won't fold. So just make sure you, and I'm just looking at mine where I did place it before, and I'd placed mine at the top here, roughly about there, and I came in about there, just making sure it's straight on the crease. But yeah, you want to make sure when you're placing that that's down. Now for some fun little stuff. Now just before I get started with gluing everything and putting everything down, these I'm using, I did mention in the video before, but I'm using the Designer Dries Clear, the Art Glitter Glue, and I've just decanted it. I'm trying out these little bottles. I keep losing my pins. It drives me crazy, so I'm trying these little bottles. This bottle has its own pin. I'll probably lose it too. But they're little bottles I had, and I thought, oh, I'm going to try these. This is a Couture Creations one, so I thought I'll try that. It's got the little plastic nozzle, so I thought I'll try that and see how that works. Now, always when I'm doing 3D stuff, I always have my liquid scrap dots. Now, I do like the Helmer one. I haven't got it in at the moment, but yeah, I do prefer the Helmer. And I've been going to go to Bunnings and get some of the clear silicone as well to see what that's like on the pages. Because I do like this getting into intricate places. Now also I use foam tape. So I do use foam dots, and I also use scrap chipboard. So they're all the things that I will use to mount my pieces on. And I have to go to this page. Now in this piece here, we've got a bit of lace happening as well. So I need to cut my bit of lace. This will come in the kit, of course. This is beautiful lace, and I think and you'll get a little bit extra, and you'll be able to place the lace wherever. But I'm just going to cut that lace off and make sure that I have that ready to go, so I don't forget to put that in. So it's going to go along here. So I'm just placing all my bits and pieces now up the top. And we are also using the die cut pieces, so which comes in your kit. I've actually cut the top of mine, but you're using the die cut pieces. I'm going to grab out of there. So there's my clock. I've found my clock, and I've got my piece down here. I've got my scissors for down here, and then out of here. So these are all my die cut pieces that I cut earlier, and we talked about cutting these out earlier. So I'm using the large flower to go on here, and I'm using the smaller flower, and I think I used this small flower here, and then I used a couple of the roses that were down here. So let's hope a couple of roses down here, I think is what I used down here. So that was out of that. And also out of, we also cut a trusty bag of pieces. We also fussy cut earlier on the I asked you to, the little oval frames, and I think I used the one with love in it. Doesn't really matter, but I'll try and stick to what I've used. So having them all out, having them all pre-done does make it easier to when it comes to putting your page together. So one of my tricks is, I'll just get this out. Now this piece is just going straight on, so I'll just take that off. Make sure there's no, and I'm going to place that up there, and it just sat over the top of the page and it just missed there. So I'm going to glue that on with some glitter glue. Now it's really good for sticking down. I love to stick that down there like that. I've just got him poking over, but I'll put some glue down here. Okay, now I'm going to, what I do when I'm first off, I'm going to ink these, and I'm, you know, I'm not being that fussy. Okay, now what I do is when I have, I use a bit of, I'm just using a bit of mouse mat. Cut mine into fours. I have one in every workstation and portable carry cases that I have around the place. So I've always got one of these because I use it a lot. And I'm just going to give a bit of definition to these flowers by on the back. So I'm just dragging, I'm using a shaping tool and I'm just dragging it in, and you can see that it's lifting. And I'm just dragging it into the center. So just going to give that, and you'll see you get that sort of, it just makes it a little bit more, you can see there it's standing up. I don't know if the camera, and then I'm just going into the center and pushing down. So then, I don't know if the camera picks that up, but you actually get this little, just gives it some shape. I don't know if you, and it looks a bit 3D. And so then I'm ready to stick that on when I've got that one ready. This is one of my favorite parts of doing layouts, is actually putting all the things together. And I will do the same with this one. You know, and I often have people say, oh, I hate fussy cutting. And really, by the time you ink it, shape it, it really doesn't, it's not that bad. You don't have to be so fussy. I think, you know, don't overlook your work, and turning it on the inside again, and we're going to do exactly the same. Don't overthink all your work. I think we tend to do that to ourselves, and then we're not happy. We expect, and not every piece has to be a masterpiece. I think you need to enjoy it. And I know, I don't think I have a page yet that I've given to my grandchildren and family that they say, oh, you know, they just think they're all beautiful. I think some of them are a bit pretty ordinary, but that's not what they say. So, you know, I think we overthink it too much. We forget why we're actually scrapbooking. I'm actually, now that I've got two of these, it's I'm going to do my daughter's wedding photos and give them to her children, so that they've each got the same and recorded, even though I know kids haven't got albums, but they've got a few photos. But I thought, well, this will be just something to put in their family album. All right, so I think I've got my bits and pieces. Maybe I'll just, so I can put it all together, I might just go in and do these little flowers here. I think shaping your flowers, and I like to shape most things when I put them on, when I'm doing things that are not flat 3D. I like to shape everything, and it gives just, yeah, gives it a little bit of definition to your page, brings it alive. Some people can't be bothered, and they just, you know, just like it flat, and they're happy to put flat because they're right into other things in their scrapbooking, and that's good too. That's fine. You don't have to do everything, mount everything, and you don't have to make every page, you know, just the odd pages are great just to do something special and do flat things. I think I'm way behind because I spend too much time procrastinating about pages, and instead of just getting and recording what you want to record from the kids or family occasions, you tend to spend a lot of time designing and forget what the pages, what you're supposed to be doing in your page and showing in your page, and things that you want to highlight. All right, and before I put these down, I'll just shape these before I forget, and then I'm ready to put this all together. So in this one, because it's such a big piece, I'm going to actually chop some chipboard up. Well, this is actually cardboard. It's not really chipboard. It's nice thin cardboard too, which is, oh, that's a bit too big. So I will just use a bit of glue for this. And I'm just plonking it on my picture. Realign where I want it to go. And I'm going to put it over here. And a little bit of glue here. All right. I'm going to do the same with this piece. So I'll probably take that over. And I'm actually going to put a bit of foam tape on this one because it's just that little bit higher, and I want it to be a little bit higher. I want it to just sit up there. Okay, so next down here, let's put some glue here. Because I know once this glue attaches, that'll be it. You want, and with this, I'm just going to go straight on with the glue. Making sure you put it up in the right way. I'm going to put a little bit of cardboard on this. Now with my flowers, I'm going to pop these in here. And then I have my scissors. Just poking out the insides. then I think I'll pop a glue dot on here. So there you go with the placement of those. So that's the front page done. To dry, but that love just goes in there, and I'm just going to put some glue in here and stick that on there. That one's going to sit in here, I think. And then the other one I want is Perfect Day. So, and I'll chop this one. So I'm using a distress tool, and I'm just going to quickly, if you don't have a distress tool, you can use the a blade, just scissors. You can use your finger. Sometimes I actually haven't got good fingernails to be doing this, but sometimes I just get my nail and flick that through there like this, so that, and I'll just give that a little bit of an ink. And it's going to go in there, and I'll just pop a bit of glue on it. Perfect Day. You could mount these on extra cardboard if you wanted to. I didn't. I wanted it just to be a bit rustic, just sort of sitting in there, not too formal. I had the plated up the photo mats, and I thought that was enough. What did I do with my sponge? Again, just adding some glue in here. I'm just going to pop it in there. Just want to make sure I get that. Alright, so there you go. That's that page done. We've now, let's see what I did on here. Got our photo mat to go on here. But I'm going to wait till I put my page in. So your photo mat is like this one. Okay, so I am going to wait on this here. I don't think that I think you all know how. We've actually done our loves scene there, which is on here. Now, another photo mat goes above these. Now, the other thing we didn't do is put a piece of white in there, so I'll do that. And there's no words to go on that one, and we just have some embellishing to do over on this side, so we'll do that.